Ende by asim ko bosin keta mana na yima asim kan ko echikwelu ya zelu. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Eastern News 24 bụ ebe anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ihe na-eme na obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, ana gbasịta maka nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ. Dịka o si dị, ọ bụ na ya bụ ụbọchị izi gị ị na-agafete n'iru akwụkwọ afọ chanel anyị, kaba alụ ka ị sọbskraibụ and turn on your notification. Maka gịnị? Anyị na-etinyekwanụ update daily gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, na gbasịta maka nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ. Dịka o si dị, ya wetara unu n'iru akwụkwọ bụ ife anyị na-akpọkwa evening tea ka anyị ji maka ya, ka anyị ji mara ya. Anyị na-akpọ ya evening tea. Ife a bụ Biafran Prime Minister in exile were ife were ịgwa ụmụ Igbo. Unu ga-esi ya bụ ife n'ụdị nke gị, ị ga-esi ya bụ ife ịkaba alụ kwuo efe ichelu gbasịta maka ihe ndị a niile Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa anyị na-akpọ evening tea. You can say drop your own comment. All right, over to you, sir.
In your template, so that December 12, 2024 deadline set by your government will be achieved, and Biafra will be redeclared and defended to the glory of Chukwu Okike Abiama. It's freedom for Biafra, or the invaders will die in the process. Airborne to the Biafra Liberation Army. Airborne to the Biafra Resistance Army. Airborne to the Biafra Air Force. All hail Biafra. I thank you all and welcome to Australia.
Airborne. Airborne.
Airborne.
Thank you, Mazi Godwin.
Yes. Thank you, Mazi Godwin. That is amazing. What has happened within a short time. Next in the agenda will be my welcome address, and I'm going to present a welcome address to His Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, members of the Cabinet, Biafra Republic Government in exile, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and honor that I extend a warm welcome to the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa on behalf of the Biafrans in Australia and Oceania. Your visit marks a significant milestone in creating awareness to Biafrans around the world, and this time Australia in particular. We are living in a time where our existence as a people is in question. Over the years, the people of Eastern region of what is known as Nigeria have come close to extinction, having been systematically meted with genocide that have seen millions of people dead over the years. And during the genocidal war known as the Biafra-Nigerian War of 1967 through to 1970, the Biafra people suffered the greatest loss in human history, and we are made to start life again with only 20 pounds, having lost everything they had in lands and properties all over Nigeria. The oppressors changed their modus operandi to economic blockade in the region that sees Biafrans scattering all over Nigeria and indeed all over the world. The best of us are scattered all over the world. Many of us in diaspora are not here by choice. We are here out of necessity. The best of us are all over the world doing wonders, but with little recognition. The former president of United States of America, President Bill Clinton, once made a remark when he talked about an Igbo man that was making significant impact in technology in America. But little was he known because of no identity. Nigeria has concealed the light of Biafrans for many years. I wonder what Nigeria was afraid of. Afraid of our ingenuity, afraid of our ability to thrive, afraid of our ability to be successful in everything that we do. This fear of Nigeria over the success of Igbo did not start today. Muhammadu Bello did not hide this fear when addressing an international media in the 1960s, saying that there is this tendency to dominate. Ahmadu Bello said it, and that audio is circulating very wild out in the social media, where he said that every Igbo man have the tendency to dominate the world. He said if you make an Igbo man a cleaner, he will become the manager. And as a result of that, they make intentional effort to make sure that we are subjugated, that we will never rise. They put a ceiling over our heads that we can never go above. This fear of Igbo success is behind the marginalization and the suppression that we have suffered in the hands of Nigeria. Just as everything that has a beginning must have an end, this fear is coming to an end. Evil has an expiry date, and that date has come. Israelites were slaves in Egypt for over 400 years. And as long as they remain in Egypt, they continue to serve their slave masters against their God-given destiny and identities. Many have paid the price of our freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is currently under incarceration for daring to speak and say, "Let my people go." It would have been a disaster if after the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the agitation for independence of Biafra died a natural death. It would have been a disaster. But thanks be to Chukwu Okike Abiama, who has raised another leader through whom we have moved from agitation to liberation, and now the redeclaration of the United States of Biafra come December 2nd, 2024. This is the reason you are here today. All our guests, all are invited people, especially people within Australia and New Zealand and Oceania. This is the reason you are here today, to know the extent His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa has made what was once a dream a reality. There are 4 categories of people in the world. First category of people are those that do not know what is happening around them. They don't know, and they stand in danger because they don't know what is happening. Straying bullets will always find themselves in the wrong place. When you don't know what is happening, you are standing in a very dangerous place. The second category of people are those that watch what is happening. Now, just like the first category, they stand and they watch. and they look left, they look right, they are not contributing, they don't know exactly, but all they do is stand and focus and look at what is happening. And that leads us to the third categories of those that talk about what is happening. Those that talk about what is happening are opinion. They are people who form opinions. They are good commentators. They can describe everything that is happening with absolute no commitment. They just talk about it. And the last category of people are those that make things happen. This is where we want you to be, and this is where we want you to be part of history making. You don't have to be on the sideline. A lot of us here in Australia have been just watching what is happening. These are no more time to watch what is happening. This is time for you to be part of history making. And that is why you are here today. In concluding with the, I will conclude with this quote by Winston Churchill, which he said, "You have enemies? Good. That means you have stood up for something sometime in your life. If you have enemies, it's good. It simply shows that you are standing for something that is important." My PM, you have enemies today, and I bet you some are here just because to see whether you are going to broadcast from Venezuela, because that is what is trending, that you are in Venezuela, but you will tell us when you speak whether you are broadcasting from Venezuela or not. So you have enemies today because you have stood up for something. For over 70 million of Biafrans, all Biafrans in Australia salute you, and we believe you are the finisher. So once again, you are most welcome, and we know that Biafra is here, because 2nd of December, Vara. So thank you, my PM. You are most welcome. And I will pass to you because you are the next to speak to us and let Australia hear your voice, Your Excellency.
Yeah, first put those hands together. The PM is here. Your hands together. Welcome, PM.
There one. Olugo Maton.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You're on center stage now, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans all over the world. Good afternoon, Biafrans in Australia. I thank you all for inviting me today and participating in this particular historic tour again. Once again, my speech today and my message today to the Biafra people is the continuation of the enlightenment and awareness on our multi-dimensional approach to the liberation of Biafra. And today, I will be sharing just small history about how we have managed to dismantle Nigeria today using the multidimensional approach. And I'm going to take solace from Israel. My fellow Biafrans, do not allow Nigeria terrorist state nor their agent and affiliate to tell you you can't get your freedom. I am here to tell you that we are going to get our freedom And we are going to do everything possible for this particular freedom to be achieved. And I'm going to share with you the story of Israel, which everybody knows about Israel, but many people do not know what Israel went through. And I will start with a man called Theodor Herzl. The Theodor Herzl was, should I say, a founder of the Zionist movement. Herzl was an Austro-Hungarian Jewish. He was a journalist, a lawyer, writer, and a political activist who was the father of the modern political Zionism. Many people are only hearing Israel, Israel, but they don't know what actually transpired that led to Israel becoming an independent state. Herzl formed the Zionist organization and promoted Jewish immigration to Palestine in an effort to form a Jewish state. In an effort to form a Jewish state. Today, there is Jewish state called Israel, State of Israel. Due to his Zionist work, he is known in the Hebrew Kozeh, a visionary of the state. He is specifically mentioned even in the Declaration of Israel Independence. This man was mentioned and is officially referred to as the spiritual father of the Jewish state. It is very important that our people, both especially the gullible ones, understand that your gullibility cannot stop the liberation of Biafra this year. Herzl was born in Pest, Kingdom of Hungary, to a prosperous Neo-Jewish family. After a brief legal career in Vienna, he became the Paris correspondent of the Viennese newspaper. He confronted the anti-Semitic event in Vienna. I hope you understand what anti-Semitism means. He reached the conclusion that anti-Jewish sentiment would make Jewish assimilation impossible. This man single-handedly rose up, stood up, because of the anti-Jewish activities across the world. He stood up, one man. And in 1896, Herzl published the pamphlet, the Judenstaat, in which he elaborated his vision for a Jewish homeland. Because of the attack, the anti-Jewish anti-Semitism, he had a vision. His ideas attracted international attention and rapidly established Herzl as a major figure in the Jewish world. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you seeing some similarity in what we are doing today, the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the rise of Simon Ekpa and the Biafra government in exile? In 1897, Herzl convened what we call the First Zionist Congress in Basel. First ever. My fellow Biafrans, do you see some similarity? In 2023, we had the first ever Biafra convention in Finland. First ever in the history of our freedom fighting. This man convened the first ever Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland. in Switzerland and was elected the president of the Zionist organization. He began a series of diplomatic initiatives. I am talking about 18-something, when Usman Danfodio was conquering the northern Nigeria. When Usman Danfodio was killing the Hausas, this man was busy having a vision for a Jewish state of Israel. And then he began the diplomatic initiative to build support for Jewish state. I am telling you that we will not land anywhere. But there was a vision. There was a vision, and they pursued the vision. Some people who don't know anything how the world works will be telling you today who is the government, which government is supporting you, which state is supporting you, how can somebody support you when you are showing that you are an idiot? How can somebody support you when you are dependent on people and you have no thinking of your own? How can people support you when you have shown to be a slave to ordinary nomadic people who don't know what is civilization? But today, we have changed the narrative. Now they understand we are not slave nomadic. Now they understand there must be a need to support the liberation and the freedom of Biafra. Now they understand that people of integrity have risen up to show that Biafra has people of integrity and standard. He began a series of diplomatic initiatives to build support for Jewish state, appealing unsuccessfully to German emperor. He appealed to German emperor, was not successful. And Ottoman Sultan appealed to all these people, was not successful. At the 6th Zionist Congress in 1903, they have had the first one, the second one, the third one, and the 6th one in 1903. Hazel presented the Uganda scheme. He even went as far as trying to build the state of Jewish state in Uganda of today. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Israel had a vision to establish a state in Uganda? Present day Uganda. That is people, I don't know how many of you, and of course, the gullible ones who are looking at what we're doing today are stupid and whatever. I don't know how many of them are aware of this, that Israel wanted to establish a state in Uganda, present Uganda, championed by Hazel. This was endorsed by Colonial Secretary Joseph Chamberlain on behalf of the British government. The proposal, which sought to create a temporary refugee for the Jews, ultimately rejected. Hazel died. This man died at the age of 44 in 1904 and was buried in Vienna. Now, let us also go fast forward after the Hazel attempt to establish the state of the Jewish state in Uganda, which was supposed to be the temporary refugee place, because of the anti-Semitism, anti-Jewish that was on rampage all over the world, just like they are trying to annihilate Biafrans because of the light we carry. Are you surprised that what we are facing today in Nigeria is exactly what the Jewish people faced all over the world? Then, Israel Declaration of Independence. I want you people to understand that the Declaration of Independent State of Israel was signed by 38 individuals. 38 signed the document of the Declaration of State of Independence of Israel. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that it was only 38 people that signed to declare Israel as an independent state? You don't know. Now you are knowing it today. I'm explaining to you. formally declaration of the establishment of State of Israel was proclaimed on the 14th May 1948 by a man called David Ben-Gurion, the executive head of the World Zionist Organization. The Zionist organization that this Hazel founded. Chairman of the Jewish Agency for Palestine, and later the first Prime Minister of Israel. It declared the establishment of a Jewish state to be known as the State of Israel, which would come into effect on termination of the British mandate. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years after that to decide. Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to the independence to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we will question it with gun. We will question it with bomb. We will question it with civility. We will question it diplomatically. And we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria, or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. That will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. And we have seen Nigeria has become the worst and evil state. A terrorist state it has become, and such state should not be allowed to stay even the next minute. That's why Biafra has decided to fight their way out. Not the type of war we fought in the 67. That was a very big lesson that we have learned. And today we are fighting differently. I am telling you, if this liberation of Biafra is going to take us the next 20 years after the 2nd of December, we are ready for it. But let us continue so that you understand how freedom is fought. Because many of you who have been in this struggle for the past 20 years actually was following people who do not know what they are doing, and either they were being sabotaged, especially from Mazen Amdekano, who set up the indigenous people of Biafra, surrounded himself with criminals who were not actually fighting for freedom. Now, the event of the termination of the British mandate, Israel immediately wanted to declare their independence. Immediately that termination of the British mandate, on the same night, the event is celebrated annually, the declaration of Israel. Now, let me also inform you that the possibility of a Jewish homeland in Palestine had been a goal of the Zionist organization, the Zionists founded by Hazel, since the late 19th century. In 1917, British Foreign Ministry Arthur Balfour stated in a letter to the British Jewish community leader Walter Lord that His Majesty government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use the best endeavor to facilitate the achievement of this object. It's being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious right of existing non-Jewish community in Palestine, or the right and political status enjoyed by Jews in other countries. Now they are supporting the establishment of the state of Israel. What happens to you that is yet to get support from the British government? Have you asked yourself that? Because they see that you have been conquered. Maybe you have been conquered. Maybe you don't have the balls to fight for what is your right. Maybe because you are an African and they have come to understand that all of you are idiots. But we are here to tell them that we are not idiots, actually. We're here to tell them that we are even more advanced, more brutal to our getting our freedom, even like they will ever imagine. That is what this generation, the government, I am the prime minister, is trying to send the message we are sending to the world. Our freedom is so precious that we are ready to burn Nigeria down for us to be free. Through this letter, it became known to the Balfour Declaration. British government policy officially endorsed Zionism. Now, without the effort of Hazel and those that follows him, will British ever take them serious? The answer is no. Will anybody ever take State of Israel or the Jews seriously? Nobody will take them serious. But they stood up. From nowhere, a man born in Hungary family, a man born in Hungary, stood up and said, I am forming the organization of Zionism. That is what led to the freedom of Israel today. That is what made Israel become one of the most powerful countries in the world. By one single man, vision. And let me also inform you that this was necessary because of the violence against Jews all over the world, just like we are facing it today in Nigeria, and solution has come through the government of Biafra. And let me also inform you that before the Declaration of Independent State of Israel, there was draft, Declaration Draft 1, Declaration Draft 2, and then Declaration Draft 3. They have the first draft, the second draft, the third draft. I want you to understand that Biafra today, we have already the first draft, and we are already in the second draft. We are not necessarily going to go to the third draft and like they did, but I'm just telling you the multidimensional approach. Remember that a few days ago, I have used Finland, and I have compared what Finland did and what Biafra are doing. Now I'm using Israel for you to understand that we have captured everything and it is WOTOWOTO. Israel had their first declaration draft. They had
ndị be anyị daalụ nenu nke ukwuu ka unu si wee gbaa mbọ wee na-esore anyị n'ife anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ dị iche iche. Ọ bụ ife m chọrọ ikwu bifo ma alapụ unu ka unu tinye alụ nke unu ife uche n'elu akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ya bụ ife dịka o si ada and dịka o si akpọtụ n'elu akwụkwọ. Ọ biko wa ajụ m chọrọ ịjụ, biko ndị Igbo ọma na-ege ntị saanụ ya bụ ajụjụ. Ọ ga-edugokwu n'oge anyị yakpọ n'ụwa anyị meeting nke ịbụọ jụọ ụwa anyị nwanne anyị nwoke anọ n'ụlọ nke mkpọrọ ebe a ka ọ ya anọzi. Ọ ga-edugo oge onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo ya pụta tinye ebe ya bụ ife ọnụ maka ya bụ ife akarigo. Nnamdi Kanu nwere ife o mere n'iru akwụkwọ. Tọsifọ ihe ọjọọ mere n'iru akwụkwọ bụ na ọ sị na ọ chọọzi ịbụ onye Naịjirịa. Tọsọ ya bụ ife ọjọọ mere. And ndị ọha eze niile ma ndị niile were na-ekwuchara ndị Igbo ọnụ fa, nobody is doing something about it. Nobody is doing anything about it. Ife a na-asụ bụ tọsọ ogologo oyibo. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bụ the leader of indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, si na mmegide a na-emegide ụmụnne ya dịrị ọzọ ya alụ mma, si nye ya Biafra ka ọ na. Okay, to tell you that what that thing Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu n'eziokwu, since eji Maazị Nnamdi Kanu check the system of Nigeria till now, the system na-ebezi akwa, everything is collapsing. Always able for now. What's the more you hold him, the more the economy destroyed. He said these things. Obuli fomu na ipota ine kubo kamake je yondi flani na major on the flani. Chefono ha buzo we major ndi Igbo. Owoli yendi Igbo mele ndi flani. There's nothing an Igbo man. What if Igbo man mele flani? Ndo aneze sina neji yo ndi flani about the killings in 1914. Na jubikon owoli ndi Igbo mele ndi flani. First from the jail we conquer si Hausa niile we bata ka conquer kwuola n'Igbo ofu onye pụtalụ bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu si na nke ama mme na ndị ka ife a adịlọ achụbịa ka egbuo onye Igbo ewere nwanne ya lee. Ya bụ ife bụ ọ bụrụ ihe njimaka ya wee bịa, ma ọ bụrụ na ege ọnụ m n'ife anyị na-ekwu n'iru akwụkwọ. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu stand with justice, equity and fairness. O wende mebele iwu iche ọbụla ajụ na-ajụ ya. Sunday Igbo ha ọkwa ejidere ya lapụ ya. Akwa the same thing Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-azụ ka ọ na-azụ. Ndị Igbo kpọọ n'owu na meeting jụọ owu na-ajụ. Ọgwụ nakọ ha m n'ọnụ. Daalụ dị na-ekwusi na-esore anyị. Ọ bụ na nke a bụ mbọsị izu gị na-abịa n'iru akwụkwọ esore na Morning Tea na Eastern News 24. Kabaro ka subscribe and turn on your notification ka ịlapụ imisi for update dịka anyị na-drop ya n'iru akwụkwọ oge niile. Daalụnụ ụmụnne m, ọgwụ nakọ ha m n'ọnụ.